All right, here we are again at the onsen. As always, I'm your host Mazo with co-host Nexus.
Quack.
Oh fucking hell, this shit again. We have Sis. We have Sis today. We have Sis, co-host Sis. You there?
Quack.
Oh my god. And co-host NBT.
Miku shite ageru.
Wow. Okay. So today we'll be covering an interesting topic. So we have covered basically etiquette and manners at shows and what to expect in the States or even Europe compared to Japan and also compared to the States, kind of comparing everything. But we're talking specifically about cameras today. So if you have any opinions on it, we'll go over that first, and then we'll talk about whether or not they're good to have at a show or bad to have at a show. So for now, I guess I'll just pass it off to NBT, who actually just went to a show recently.
So Sis and we went to show last week, and of course it had to be Hatsune Miku. And during that show, there's no real rule that states that you can't take pictures of the show. So actually, we've seen some people who actually recorded the entire thing. But I mean, it's quite distracting, I guess, when you see people moving around with the cameras. So I don't know. My experience is that it's okay if people just take a photo or record a short clip, and definitely not having their cameras right in front of your face or in front of whoever is performing. So one etiquette could be that you actually put the camera in front of your face, or at least not like covering the stage in some way. So
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I get that. Like you said, it's if you're gonna be the camera guy, you're better off not trying to get the best angle with your arm, but just keeping it at the angle where it doesn't obstruct anyone else. But even then, I have my own opinions on that. What show was it that you went to?
It was Hatsune Miku.
Oh, okay. So do they always allow recording at all of her shows, or was it kind of a special thing this time?
Yeah, I didn't pay attention when I was in Japan, but they always stated in the European shows, and that is that I think they say that they suggest you not taking photos, but if you're gonna take photos, you should turn off the flash. So in other words, they imply that you're able to take photos as long as you don't kind of like mess up their kind of hologram screen, which the flash might do.
Oh no!
I think that's the main
She
reason.
just disappeared. Oh no! Somebody broke Miku with their flash.
Somebody broke Miku with their flash. Yeah.
It's more like the screen, it reflects the light, and because the also the glow sticks that we use for the Hatsune Miku shows are specifically made for Hatsune Miku shows, and that is because they're the kind of LED is dimmer, it's not as bright.
Seriously?
Yeah,
They're pretty cool.
You have to protect Miku-chan from the evil flash that can make her disappear. Okay.
yeah. So basically, some of the rules are that you can't bring your own LED lights. You have to buy an official one.
Oh, that's a good way to make money. Jesus.
It's a good way. I mean, look at Apple. They're selling these lightning cables and shit. So,
Yeah, not for long, apparently.
but one other rule is that you can't bring a leak to the show.
Like an actual.
Yeah, go over this because I don't.
So there's like a meme with Miku.
The
like,
leak. Yeah.
Yeah, flying around with a leak. So that has become a big kind of like signature of her, and apparently people bring leaks, like live leaks, like to the show. And
Live leaks. That's a website. That's something.
yeah, that's bad. Okay, that's bad. Not leaks. Okay, but anyway.
Yes, they are
so-
leaks.
yeah, but it has become a problem that they actually announced like you can't bring leaks to the show. During the London show, yeah. So during the London show, you could see one guy with their hand like raising a leak, and everyone's like, "What?
How did he?
He smuggled in a leak.
Yeah, how did he get it in, man?
I don't know, man.
And
It was weird.
That just makes me
Like,
want to go to
why
a
did
Miku
they-
show just to bring in a leak.
yeah,
Shove it up your ass.
photographs and a video, but you're not allowed a fucking leak.
It's fucking backward. I mean, I guess if everyone
so
showed up with a leak, and like maybe 20% of those people just like left their leak on the floor, it would be a real bitch.
I was able to bring my water bottle as well for some reason.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Or wasn't?
I was.
So shows
Why
in
is
the
that
UK
weird?
So shows in the UK, sorry, we're not allowed to bring like any food or drink inside the venue at all. Since forever, since like we had the terror attacks, we've never been able to do that. I can't remember when that was.
Yeah, we can't do it in here either. You literally, like, if we're going to a concert and we're like on a 2 or so day trip and have all our shit with us, we've done it several times already, that before the concert we stuff the food in a plastic bag and leave it in the bushes somewhere because they'll throw it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't done that, but yeah.
Mazo is dying.
Normally when you go to the security guard, they'll just throw it in the bin, like your water, your thing, and then you go inside and you get your water from there.
Mazo, have I never told you about the bush food?
No, man.
You have a term for it.
The bush food.
But no, the question is, why do you even bring your whole entire backpack to the concert?
Because we don't have a hotel. We just go on the bus and back. I have all my shit on me.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
How much shit? Like that's so you're
Well,
talking about like
not like that.
but like a change
like
of clothes. How much shit do you need if you're just going back home right after?
She has a
back
portable
home,
shower.
one comes you over.
Okay, but
Like-
you said you don't have a hotel. What do you need all this shit for if you can't use it in any place?
Well, you have a change of clothes and you have food. You are allowed to change your clothes in establishments that are not a hotel, you know?
No.
Why do you need to?
So you don't smell like shit for the second day?
What's the second day? Like the journey back home? Who gives a fuck?
I do, and preferably the people who are going to be near me on the bus.
Fuck them. Like who
This
cares?
conversation is going nowhere.
This just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like I've been to shows that are.
It's because you're fat and you smell, okay?
I've been to shows that are like a little bit further away here in Japan. But, I mean, the advantage is there's always, like, lockers and stuff at, like, the train station, sometimes outside the train station, sometimes near venues, sometimes at venues. Like
The lockers are normally gone. Like by the time you need to be the first one there, you need to have your like the
not in
one
Japan.
of the or maybe not the gigs you go to. No,
Well, I mean, the
never-
recent one I
never
went to was
seen-
jam-packed full of people, but they still had plenty of lockers.
No, dude, I don't think I usually seen lockers like at shows unless it
depends
is
on the
Japan.
venue. Because I know
Yeah,
at
it really depends on the venue.
Shinkibus Studio Coast, there are lockers there.
No, I said unless it's in Japan. Like usually in Japan.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's
But like I said, the train station also. But I don't know how shit works in Europe, though, because it's all foreign to me, you know?
Well, we shower and we don't stink.
Nah,
Oh,
the stereotype is that you don't, but okay.
I just come from my home to the gig, and that's it, really.
You don't shower at the
You live in
gig?
fucking London, and you can do
Yeah.
You don't shower at the gig and throw your food in a plastic bag and hide it in the fucking bushes?
Ah, man, I've got a hotel normally if I go overseas.
You got it all fucking wrong, sis.
I know. Well, fuck it.
Let me learn you a few things. So there's a
all
Ziploc
these fucking
bag,
confessions.
mac and cheese, vodka,
Oh, what
the bushes.
This took a really like a turn.
My description of you was perfect. Fat and stinky.
You're so mean.
I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's right to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you're paying a lot of money to be first row, like VIP or like whatever, and you've got a good ticket and whatnot, I don't feel like I would be filming a concert in that part because I paid for that experience, not to look through a screen. But I also appreciate that. Obviously, there are some people who cannot go, you know, for whatever reason that may be, even if there are tickets available and whatnot. That helps people like see a concert that that will probably never be released on DVD or whatever. For me, I mainly don't take photos or video at shows. It's just, yeah, I just don't. I just want to experience it in the moment, just there and then. Other people, I think when they've got their camera up for too long and it's obstructing the view, that's when it becomes a big problem. And that's when you have to ask them to be like, please, could you put it down because I can't see anything, you know?
That actually happened to me. I asked the guy, like, he was filming. I was like, and I tapped his shoulder and he looked at me. I was like, and he was okay. Then he put his camera in front of his face instead of like above his head.
Instead of in front of yours.
Yeah, this fucker.
Mildly polite.
Yeah, I think I have no problem with it, but I feel like it also takes the experience away of being in the moment. But that's me being old-fashioned. That sounds really old-fashioned to me, so yeah.
Well, and when we are talking about this, are we still talking about the shows where it's allowed, or are we including shows where it's technically forbidden? But
well, that's the thing too. Like, some shows aren't clear about it. Some shows are clear that it's totally allowed, and other shows are very clear that it's not allowed at all. Like, we recently had a bunch of drama. I'd say recently, it's like a year or two now. I think 2 years ago now. Gazette, and their show in the States. People had cameras. Some people were like, "Oh, it was great." Other people were like, "People had fucking cameras," and other people are like, "People had fucking cameras," and like.
I mean, is there anything to discuss if there's no cameras allowed? I mean, obviously there should be no cameras there then.
Oh, you'd think so, right?
I mean, you know.
But there are actually even people that not only will they still have cameras in people's faces when it's forbidden at the show, but later after the show when you call them out on it, they will just argue with you that they paid for the show, so they're allowed to film it, even though it's forbidden to film it.
Well,
I mean, I paid to see this movie in the theater. I should be able to film it while I'm in the theater. No. I'm saying.
Why should you be able to do anything you want just because you paid for it? You didn't pay to take photos.
I'm sorry. Do you not understand how money works?
I think everybody has different opinions of. Definitely. I just feel there's a muddy waters between it. Like, there's not really a clear yes you can do it, yes you can't do it. I know fairly recently in Japan, Dadaroma have allowed people to take photographs or videos of certain shows. I'm not quite sure if it's certain shows or if it's all their shows. And obviously you don't get that with other bands. Like, a lot of, I guess I only know about Visual-kei bands, but Visual-kei bands, I don't know if it's like etiquette or if it's just, you're just not allowed, just straight up not allowed to record anything. So for a band to openly say, yes, you can do this and that, I think that's a very clear indication of the rules and what you can do at the gigs. But yeah, it's different for...
I don't know if you're, we were talking about shows that you can't take, like, they clear the state that you can't take photos, then obviously you shouldn't take photos.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no discussion there. The discussion is rather, in my opinion, the discussion should rather be about, like, during shows where you are able to take photos, like,
or where it's not expressly forbidden.
Yeah, so what should you be able to do and what should you not do, like the ethics of it.
I get what you mean. I think it should be like mainly clips rather than whole shows. But
no, that's the discussion. That's your opinion.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
I'm with Sis on it. Like he said earlier, especially for somebody who, like, you know, dropped a ton of money to get, you know, right at the front VIP or whatever. Why do you need to record it? Again, I understand also the point of, you know, there's some people who just really couldn't go. You can't even sit there and be like, oh, they're just a bunch of cheapskates. Some people really can't go. Maybe you're too far away. Maybe the band just never leaves Japan. You know, maybe, who knows? It could be any number of things. Maybe you had another event that you literally could not cancel or postpone because it's extremely important. But at the same time, it kind of takes away from the show itself. Like, it is that one day at that one place for a particular reason. If you can't go, you can't go. Like, that's too bad. I mean, here recently, I bought a ticket to see Dead Man. Totally fucking forgot the day came and went. and I'm looking at the calendar. I'm like, I'm supposed to see Dead Man this month. This month is over in like 5 days. And I look at the ticket and I'm like, oh, because the concert was 10 days ago. So,
Oh my god.
No.
like, I didn't get to see that show. I wasn't pissed about all that much because, like, I'm a fucking idiot. But it's not like I went online and was like, let me go see what I missed. Like, I don't know. Maybe to some people it's more important, but I missed the opportunity. I gotta wait for it to come up again, if it comes up again. And if not, it just wasn't meant to be. I don't see the need to have to see the one show that I was supposed to be at, or whatever. A tour DVD is a tour DVD. There's a reason they release them. They got things on them. They go through a lot of shit to get it set up the way they do. I don't know. I don't get the whole, I need to see how well somebody's fucking Samsung captured this show.
I don't know. For me, like, I'm a bit hypocrite in this kind of in this specific, well, at least with Hatsune Miku shows, because I hate when people have the screens in front of me, and because it kind of distracts me when I look at the show, and there's a lot of things that are lighting up that is not like the glow sticks, because it lights up differently and it distracts you as well. But after the show, I'm able to go to YouTube and just like kind of relive the whole experience again. And for that, I'm grateful there are footage of it and that there's actually people who recorded the entire show. And in that sense, I'm a bit hypocritical. So, yeah.
Yeah, I get that, like being able to go back and relive some of this stuff. I will admit there's times where, mainly with JROCK, like, Kyo will do something fucking outrageous during a show. And by outrageous, I just mean something like really virtuoso with his vocals. And it's like, man, I wonder if anybody got that one. But at the same time, if I was there and somebody was getting that one, I'm like, why the fuck are you filming this? It's happening right in front of you. Let the man have his moment. Put your fucking phone away.
So what I saw, not recently, but you know, Darren Gray were touring America, and I saw a video of Darren Gray, obviously, but Kyo was on stage, but he looked like he was having a really great time. And it's like, when I see stuff like that, especially for somebody who looks always serious like 90% of the time, that fills my heart, you know, with joy. And so for that, I think for snippets like that, clips like that, I think are very important. Also, this person may have been, I don't know what position they were in the line. They were quite close, so you wouldn't be able to get that from far.
Yeah, I at the end of the day, I think more than anything, it takes away from everyone's experience who's, you know, within a field of view of your screen. And as the person filming, I don't understand. Like, I've seen people, because the best thing to do, if you don't want to be too much of a dick, is to keep it right in front of you. But at that point, you're no longer watching the performance. You're watching your screen, which is getting an even smaller view of the performance. And it's just, why are you here?
So I don't think you have a right to be angry if people are pushing behind you. Also, if the gig is quite rough and you're a person recording, you don't have the right to be angry because you're recording the gig. Nobody told you to take out your phone. You didn't have to. You knew what you were getting yourself into. So, you know. Yeah,
I've had security called on. Not me specifically, but me and the group of people around me, because we were being too rough with the camera people.
Jesus.
Wait, you mean not official camera people?
Not official camera people, just kids on their phones who, like, you know, they're sitting there recording like right next to the fucking mosh pit, and then when they get pushed a little bit, they're like, you ruined my angle.
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
I think it was, I don't know, before Kidogamesh broke up, so like 2016 or what year, I was seeing them in Munich, and I was not like entirely in the front, but behind all the VIPs, so like fourth row or something. And in the first and second row there was a couple, and the girl was first row and her boyfriend was behind her, and like he had his arm around her and just his phone basically stuck in her face. And she was like trying to enjoy the show, and he legitimately like smacked her hand out of the view because she was in the way of his camera. And I was like, dude, what a cunt.
Yeah.
Like, and they were right in front of me, so I was pissed off because the phone was in my way. If I was his girlfriend, I would probably just take his phone and smack him up the head with it, because just
yeet it across the room.
Yeah, just take it and yeet it.
Okay, well, so that brings up a good question. What should you actually do when you get kind of annoyed of people filming the show?
Honestly, like your story of you like tap someone on the shoulder and we're like, "Hey, bro," and they were like, "Sorry, bro." I'm kind of surprised. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because the setting of most of the shows I go to is like, if somebody's going to be displeased with me or I'm going to be displeased with somebody, it's not going to end with a, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's going to go much worse. For the most part, like what happens to me a lot at shows is I get my feet stomped on a lot, but it comes with the territory. You know, some people are like, "Oh shit, sorry." I'm like, "Comes with the territory." Like, I don't know, but there's other things that it's like I draw the fucking line. Like cameras, personally, I fucking hate them at shows. I fucking hate when people have their phones out and they're recording the whole damn thing. It just gets in the way. They get pissed if you get too close to them, nudge them or anything. So it's just something I ignore as much as I can and avoid as much as I can. I try not to be anywhere near or around them.
So basically, you don't really do anything about it.
No, because doing anything about it would be extreme.
Okay.
I mean, once you actually take somebody's phone and yeet it, you can get like in trouble for that. So
yeah. The minute you even touch someone, technically, especially in the States, that's already assault.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
that's crazy actually. Like if you check the definition of the law, like you could get in trouble for that.
Oh,
so
like-
basically, you're basically saying like the way you handle it is that you don't do anything because there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I'm also not a rat. I'm not gonna go and call security and be like, "This guy's filming." Like, I'm just gonna be like, "Well, this guy's a fucking dick."
Yeah,
Poor girl.
I've been thinking of what I should do in those moments, because usually I just tap people like those that are in reach, and it's usually those who are kind of like annoying me.
So
But also,
you
if
heard
I
it here
would
first.
hand-
NBT goes around assaulting concert goers,
Yeah, technically yes.
physically.
now he's
assaulting.
admitting to it.
But like if you do something kind of like how do you say out of hand, that would get you in trouble, and that would mean that you wouldn't be able to enjoy the show because
Exactly.
you wouldn't be
It's not worth it at that point.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, for me, it's a minor inconvenience. It's not really worth being all that angry about. So it's just seething on the inside, like Krylo Ren.
acceptance.
Another thing is like, this is when it's just somebody's got a phone in your face, right? And it's kind of ruining the show for you. But what if it starts ruining the show for everyone, because some artists get touchy and they will literally stop playing until the cameras are removed.
Oh, I've
fucking
heard,
great.
I heard that happen.
I haven't heard of that, but that sounds really great.
I not like even heard. I have personally been to shows where that happened. Usually it involves Kamijo because he hates it. he will just stop playing and will not start again until the camera is removed.
I like that actually, and also when I went to a Versailles show, and it was a seated show. The first thing he said was, I think it was like "stand up" or "rise" or something like that, and he just commanded everyone. It was so fun to see.
I think it was in like 2012 that I was at some sort of a Kiwamu show, and he had this whole speech about like, don't you dare film, because if I see you filming, I'm gonna take this water and I'm going to pour it on your fucking camera.
Well, the one thing I will say before we move on here, I recently went to see Visual-kei with Laura. And there's one girl who's known at their shows for always photographing them, and she has a really good, high-quality camera. But one, she everyone knows her already who's going to be there towards the front. They kind of have their own community going on. And the other thing is she's very careful to avoid getting in anyone's way. So she's photographing the whole time. She doesn't take video, but she's photographing the whole time, getting really good angles and stuff, but she goes out of her way to make sure she doesn't get in anyone's way. So I can appreciate that, and in a lot of ways it is kind of a service for the artist too, because her pictures are fucking great, and sometimes they'll retweet them and stuff and use them themselves. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It really depends on, at the end of it all, the person.
Okay, well, yeah. But then I also want to bring up something I actually neglected at first. So about concerts where you aren't able to film or take photos.
Don't do it.
Just to have it kind of like checked off the list. Like, what about those?
Don't do it.
Well, don't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, I'm not going to rat you out. I'm going to hate you.
No, I'm totally gonna rat you out. I have already done it.
What a bitch.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
It was in my
man.
face.
Fuck you.
What a bitch you are, man.
It was in my face and it was annoying, so I told on him.
So wait, so how did you handle it?
I just went to
Guards!
security. Guards, have him removed. No, not like that.
Or you just go full card game tournament. Judge!
No, I just waved at some people like behind me, and they waved down security, and the camera was gone.
The game.
What about the person?
I don't know. Like I don't know if he was like escorted out of the venue, deleted pictures or whatever. But
God damn, fucking savage.
fuck him. Just fuck him.
From yeeting the phone to yeeting the person. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, for me, again, net negative. I mean, does anyone else think it's a positive in any way? At the end of the day, like, the final
It's like,
result.
but like, just to clarify, if he hadn't been very annoying about it, I wouldn't probably.
Okay, whatever.
Wait, so how about... Okay, so if it's not distracting, but the artist doesn't want you to photograph
Don't
or
do
take
it.
photos, yeah.
Don't do it
It's
anyway.
the fucking
Yeah,
rules.
don't do it.
Don't
Yeah,
do it.
In my opinion, it's a don't do it. But what? Okay, let me just bring up.
You know
this
how you're not
case.
supposed to yell fire in a crowded movie theater? Just don't fucking do it.
Or yell bomb at an airport.
Do it because I want to see what happens to you.
Okay. Anyway, if the person is at the back, like at the very back, does that change the situation?
It's like, that's very situational, isn't it? Because then if you got like a tall person recording a show and
From
then
Narnia.
literally see the screen and nothing of the audience,
4
then
pixels.
that's like your side, you're unfortunate.
I mean,
You're
I would
unfortunate.
assume that if it's at a show where it's completely forbidden, then standing in the back with your camera out would be more risky because the security is usually like in the front, in the back, and on the sides. So if you're just in the very back, they're going to see you right away.
Yeah, it's risky, but I don't think we were specifically talking about when it's banned. Just like, if you
When
are
I told you
allowed
when it's
to,
banned.
are you distracting anyone being at the very back of the room? And my opinion on that is no. Go to the back of the room. Be near no one. Do all the filming you want, as long as the band's okay with it. I don't give a shit, because at that point you're literally not hindering anyone with your screen light or anything. You're all the way at the back. You have the freedom there. You chose to be there at the back because nobody is at the back unless they want to be at the back.
Yeah,
If you're not in
Yeah.
front of literally anyone, go fucking nuts.
Go out.
just have a fucking tripod in there. Who cares?
Yeah, have a fucking tripod. I don't give a shit because it's not getting in anyone's way.
I've actually seen that before. Somebody just with a tripod, but it could have been official.
Could have been. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Not
I
possible,
guess
so.
we all agree there are some exceptions, but I don't know. I think I'm still not a big fan of it. All right. Well, with that one, I mean, no real solution on this, but there's some opinions on cameras at shows. But let's jump into the latest little quick segments of news. I'll go on ahead and go first with Yosei Teikoku. They're gonna have an album this year. Thank God. It's been like forever. Flama Idola, their last single, came out in 2017. Their last album was 2015. So it's been a long fucking time. So The Age of Villains is set to come out in March on the 25th. So I'm looking forward to that one personally. I haven't heard from them in a while. I missed a chance to go see their show too, but that wasn't because I bought a ticket and forgot. But MBT, you got anything?
Yeah, so recently Acme were touring the US and they actually got robbed. So someone basically stole most of the stuff from their van, and but they started GoFundMe, and it was basically the goal was reached in one day. So I guess it's not completely all good, but it's better. And then we also had an interview with Jam Project, but that was actually set last year, but we just published it right now, recently. So that's pretty interesting because they talk about their experience of working with anime songs for 20 years, and also what the difference is between making an opening song and ending song. And yeah, so the last thing I want to mention is that we also interview Chris Broad, which is the YouTuber of the channel Abroad in Japan. So he spent a whole week with Hyde. He probably got to know Hyde pretty well, and so we wanted to know a bit more about his experience. So that's what the interview is about.
In case you don't know who Hyde is, he's a vocalist of Lark and Seal, Vamps, and his own solo project.
What's the solo project called?
I don't know.
Hyde, it's just his name.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know he has his own train right now, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, Sis, you got anything?
His own name in all caps.
Okay. Sis, you got anything?
Alice 9 lead guitarist Hiroto was meant to have a guitar demo and social event at NAMM 2020, which is the National Association of Music Merchants. Due to strict immigration screening process, he had to cancel the event, unfortunately, and that really sucks because I don't think we get a lot of Japanese artists at the event.
Nexus, you got anything?
The tickets for the Mikado and Glams tour in Europe are now on sale. Finally, go buy them. And also, Hatsune Miku is supposed to perform at Coachella. I thought NBT would mention it, but it didn't.
I thought the Miku fan would mention it, but fuck him.
Nope.
It's pretty crazy that she will be performing there because groups like Big Bang is also performing on the same day.
Yeah, and Yoshiki performed there once too, so who gives a shit? But not that Yoshiki's bad or anything. It's just Coachella is Coachella, and it's like, water is wet. Anyway, so with that one, I guess before we wrap things up, I got a comment here from one of our people on our last video talking about their power level. The JROCK Freak saying, I got into JROCK through LMC, which led me to getting into Ancafe, and I believe it's pronounced Sugu? S-U-G?
Yeah.
And my love of anime got me into Flow and a Bingdom Boys School, but after I got heavy into K-pop, J-Rock took a backseat, but now I'm getting really back into J-Rock again, so I'm listening to a bit of everything, trying to play catch up on bands I missed out on. I feel like there's probably a lot of people in the same boat, but yeah, first of all, thank you for your comment, but I do feel like there's a lot of people who did get into K-pop recently, and kind of let J-Rock take a backseat, and I wonder how many of those people are gonna jump back in eventually. If does K-pop have staying power, or is it gonna be whatever the next fucking trend is?
We will see after there's no more BTS. Right now, all of K-pop is literally BTS.
There's other things,
I think it depends on what J-Rock has to offer. Actually,
that's true
is there
too.
Anything new?
Yeah, is there anything new enough or big enough in the new scene? Because we talk about it all the time.
Not really.
You can get super into J-Rock, and then your favorite band just disbands because that's what happens every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
True story.
So, yeah, K-pop, as long as you're one of the bigger bands, which it seems like some of the bands or groups, I guess, will climb to the top really fast, and then they have to serve in the military.
And that's where bands go to die.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because I feel like back when maybe a decade ago now, people were getting into K-pop from J-Rock, and I feel like the prominence, it wasn't just BTS wasn't around. There were so many people into so many K-pop bands, so I get variety in that sense. But now it's very one-sided on K-pop. So maybe people will go back to J-Rock if they find something they like or whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, it really depends on what gets on your radar.
Have you guys noticed that there were like some time ago they were like seriously discussing granting BTS exemptions from serving in the military for like cultural contributions?
Yeah,
it
but
actually makes sense.
That's its own thing.
Makes
it
a
does
lot of
because
sense.
they make Korea tons of money. I mean, they make themselves tons of money, but they represent their country positively because BTS so far no scandals. They make tons of money. I'm sure tourism's up just because people are like, oh, BTS is from
Mazo,
Korea.
you know much about BTS.
You kind of can't not know much about BTS. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
You seem to know more than I do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't know shit about BTS. So.
I know Rap Monster speaks English. That's what I know.
Yeah, he does that.
Is that the name of one of their guys? Rap Monster?
Yeah, Rap Monster.
I didn't know that.
I think his name is Namjoon.
Who's the rap monster? What?
It'd be better if it was WM, like rap.
I mean, one of them's called Sugar, so...
Before we go way off topic and just turn this into the BTS podcast, thank you everyone for showing up again. And we should be back next month. Hopefully we'll be getting back to being more regular with this. This last like 6 months were kind of crazy, but everything should be settling down until it doesn't. So as always, I've been your host Mazo with co-host Nexus.
Why? No quack.
And co-host is
Yo.
and special guest NBT. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
I'll see you in hell.